The United States Senate seat in New York is for sale. The people who are buying that seat are the big corporations of America who are paying my opponent Kirsten Gillibrand thousands and thousands of dollars for her allegiance. That's just a pure fact when you look at where her money is coming from. Now, I want to focus today on the question of what Wall Street is doing in this election. On Friday, as many of you know, the Securities and Exchange Commission filed civil charges against Goldman Sachs, accusing Goldman Sachs of widespread securities fraud in the financial crisis that we went through and are still recovering from. That day I called on Kirsten Gillibrand to give back the thousands of dollars she's receiving from people connected to Goldman Sachs, including a $5,000 contribution from the Political Action Committee of Goldman Sachs. Now, what do we think that money is buying? We know that that money is legalized corruption. It is corrupting our system. It is buying off our legislators. It is buying their votes. That is very clear. It's one reason that one can explain that Kirsten Gillibrand does not support President Obama's proposal to put a bank tax on Wall Street and on the financial services in order to recover some of the money that we had to pay out from our pockets in order to bail those banks out. Kirsten Gillibrand does not support that bank tax, and I think it's pretty clear why. Now, I'm renewing my call today to demand that Kirsten Gillibrand return all the money that she's gotten from Goldman Sachs, from the PAC, and from all the officials that are tied to Goldman Sachs, and that she return every single dollar received from Morgan Stanley, all the other banks, and the other interests that at this very moment are trying to kill real reform. Every single dollar that's going to a Democrat like Kirsten Gillibrand is aimed at one thing. It's aimed at killing the reform that President Obama is trying to pass. And most important, it's aimed at killing reform that is doing its best to try to make sure that what we just went through, the millions of people who lost their jobs, the millions of people who lost their retirement, the fact that we lost trillions of dollars of wealth because of greed and incompetence on Wall Street, that reform is aimed at trying to stop that from happening again. Kirsten Gillibrand, please give that money back. Return that money to Goldman Sachs. You can't show a single ounce of impropriety at this moment. That money is legalized corruption. The people know it, and it's unconscionable that Democrats like Kirsten Gillibrand and other people in the United States Senate who are going to have to cast a vote on this reform are taking money from the very people who are trying to kill this reform.